I have a motion and second to open 12.15. Recommendation to approve attention to attendance software and services agreement between School Innovations and Achievement and the Redondo Beach Unified School District.
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Wild.
So this is an action item, many years in the making, right, Dr. Wesley? This action item is a service agreement between RBUSD and School Innovations and Achievement, what we call SIA. So SIA provides a product service called Attention to Attendance. It's a software that works with our student information system that would work with PowerSchool and our daily attendance reporting in order to help our schools in early identification of chronically absent students and implementation of swift communication to our families and interventions that have been shown to be best practices in improving attendance. School attendance, we know, is crucial to positive student outcomes, and this software will help us work to improve our average daily attendance, which we know has taken a hit in COVID. Staff recommend that you approve this agreement. This is to help, so let me give you an example. As a school site principal, once a month, I would dedicate my day to reviewing attendance, going through every single student in my school site, issuing attendance letters. It is incredibly time-consuming, making phone calls. The purpose of this software is to help
Flag you.
expedite that,
Ding, ding.
flag.
Raymond Flynn's been gone too much.
Exactly. I can track it. It's not relying really on my grunt work reviewing. There is a dashboard, a dashboard that Dr. Taranto can speak to it. A dashboard that I, as a school site principal, can log into. I can see who's been chronically absent, who's approaching chronically absent, who do I need to give an intervention to before we get to that point. Students who have missed consecutive days, students have missed excessive excused, but Dr. Taranto can give more details.
Yes, so we can set the parameters or the expectations we have as it relates to how we want to pre-identify our students who are at risk for being chronically absent. I think this past year, we have about 5.9 or 6% chronic absenteeism rate. So if you look at the ADA across the district, we get like about 10,500 maybe? Does that sound about right? Annette, I'm looking at you, sorry.
Like, what are you saying,
Like
10,500?
ADA per student is about what, 10,500?
Oh,
Annual?
under,
Yeah.
annually?
Per day, it's about
per
$60
student?
per day.
So per student, it was just under 10,000.
Okay. So thinking of that, in the early identification, our goal is to have a return on investment, but it allows us to get more touches on families, as Dr. Wilds was stating. So it's not just the school administrator, but it's also assisting office staff and the labor behind them making the phone calls and sending the letters, because it'll centralize everything. They'll send out all the communications to families based upon the guidelines that we set with the communication between the SIS and attention to attendance. In addition to, it recognizes positive attendance. So we have letters that will go home for students who have perfect attendance, et cetera. We can customize our letters to have the district logo and a message from like Dr. Keller or anyone in the district, specific to school sites as well. It's customized, and they handle all of that communication that goes out. All of our principals will have access to a dashboard, so think of it kind of like the actual California dashboard as far as the color coding. So it'll identify the students who are obviously at risk, and so that we can really provide intentional communication with them. It's something that Dr. Wiles and I have talked about, that I'll be monitoring on a almost daily basis and working directly with those school sites so we can recoup and get kids back in school and get them re-engaged and back on track.
And you can set those parameters?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where we work with our local SAR board and making sure that we're looking at the definition for chronic absenteeism. And so we put those parameters in the system, so that's a trigger right away for a student who maybe is 30 minutes or more late or leaves early, those types of things. So we're capturing that ADA.
So does the data that goes into this upload automatically from something that's already being done? Or does it have to
PowerSchool,
be?
yeah.
Okay, so it's
This
it's
is
there.
the IT. This is the.
So is that where I'm reporting
We're
the
not
absence?
entering it. Every day, our teachers are taking attendance. All those attendance codes are put into PowerSchool.
Yeah, this is kind of a joint thing here. So basically, they have a tie-in into PowerSchool, where we'll be communicating to their servers, their secure servers. Our server will be talking to their server through an SSL layer. And then also the authentication will go through our single sign-on portal.
And PowerSchool
So-
covers all grades?
Yes.
And it will go down to TK as well now?
Goes down to TK.
Goes down to
Yes.
TK.
And even though TK and K not technically are not considered compulsory attendance, that's where our biggest attendance offenders are living right now. And they're starting out with some poor habits, and so we want to make sure we capture families early, letting them know the importance of attendance, letting them know, and then praising them when the attendance improves.
So really, to an individual site, this is transparent. They won't even, they don't have to do anything.
There's no change except
Principals-
for the,
Yeah,
on
the principals
having
would
more
have
real-time
this
information.
dashboard, they'll be able
They
to
have
monitor
access
it.
to it, but they're
Yes.
not, nobody's gonna have to, oh, I gotta put the date in, like we
Nope.
went through with the hospitals and COVID. I gotta enter data into 6 different
Yeah,
systems.
it's
Well,
automated.
Yeah.
is the message still stay home if you're sick?
Yes,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
my, I mean, it's the
Yes.
obvious. If we're paid
Yes.
on attendance, but yet we tell people to stay home when we're sick, it's
Yes,
kind of
but we have quite a number of absences that have nothing to do with
Oh,
COVID.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
that's who we'd like to capture.